Good evening and welcome to postseason NoQuipFootball on NoQuip Sports, your no funny business source of just football news. You get in and get out, 5 to 7 minutes tops. Hopefully, along the way, you get some pick'ems information too, as the fantasy season has come to a close. So first of all, folks, on last week in Week 17, NoQuipFootball picked 12 out of 16 games correct, 75%. And then on the season, from when NoQuipFootball first began in Week 10, NoQuipFootball picked 97 out of 123 games correct, which is 78.8% correct. So that's a very, very exciting start for such a young program. So I hope that you all enjoy what we've been doing here. But let's get into this. First of all, this week we're going to focus each day in on one of the 4 wildcard games this Saturday and Sunday coming up. First game we're going to start with is the Oakland Raiders visiting the Houston Texans at 4:35 at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas, and that's going to be on ESPN or ABC for those of you who are looking to watch the game. How'd they get in? Let's get right into that, folks. So with the Oakland Raiders, let's take a look at them this season. 12-4 record. They are the 5th seed because they ended up tying with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs swept them this season. Therefore, they get the higher seed within the division. So the Kansas City Chiefs are at the 2nd seed, and because of their record and also because of being swept, the Oakland Raiders are now the 5th seed. So over the season, they've had a fair amount of close games against good teams and teams they should have beaten more easily. However, they tended to win those games, which obviously landed them in the position that they're in. So they're very good at overcoming adversity, or at least holding off adversity that's coming at them, which is a great thing. So I personally still consider them as an up-and-coming team. As you all know, throughout this entire season, I've very much been fanboying the Oakland Raiders this year, very much been bandwagoning, if you will. But I have always liked them quite a bit. They always have that cool, like, not cool, but like very tough football personality to them. Their owners are crazy, to say the least, drafting kickers so early, in other positions that you wouldn't think of as well. So, they're very good. And personally, I feel that their best win on the season came in Week 13 against the Bills, 24-38. Probably the game that put Rex in the hot seat the most as well, or at least began that process. The thing about that game is it was one of their most dominant against a team that did end up going, I believe, just 8-8, and obviously they fired their 2 coaches, Rex and Rob Ryan, both gone. But the point of the story is, though, is that they actually managed to hold off a pretty great offense with Tyrod Taylor actually doing very, very well with his receivers, as well as LaShawn McCoy, who had been having a great season as well. So that game shows me the most personally about how this postseason is going to go. The other thing about that Bills team is that they had a tough defense too. So with the Houston Texans, I look at them and kind of see very similar traits to them between the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. They both have pretty fairly tough defenses. They both have a fairly good running game. The big difference, though, is that in Houston, their quarterback situation has been kind of outrageous, and they haven't been able to figure out to go with Osweiler or a backup or just to go with a totally different offense overall. They ended up benching Osweiler and such like that. So we'll get to the Houston in a second, but the other piece is, I think that win right there against the Bills says the most about what could happen in this game that we're talking about right now. So then the Houston Texans this season, actually, before we get into that, the other piece is Derek Carr broke his leg, and Matt McGloin did not look good in Week 17. So there's another big thing going on there to make sure you keep track of. As well as that, Matt McGloin, his backup even, didn't look that good either. The game, I forget the score, it was 26-something to 6. The Raiders lost. So that's not a very good sign in Week 17, but being how the matchup looks on paper, Oakland should do fairly well. But anyways, moving into Houston, 9-7 record this season. They landed the 4th seed, which is the AFC South Divisional winner. There wasn't really anything crazy or impactful coming out of the South anyhow. All 4 of those teams weren't really great this year, in my opinion. I think everybody would have been pissed about whatever team came out of the AFC South regardless, especially on Twitter. When I was talking to some Twitter people during the Houston game recently, they were saying how it was a waste of a playoff spot and other stuff like that. But then when you think about it, who's the other team in the AFC South that would have done well? The Colts? All right, well, they had an okay season. And then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are horrific. And then you have the Tennessee Titans, who also just lost their starting quarterback. So what option was there really out of the AFC South? I think people would have been upset either way. Now, having said that, they have been somehow having a good season. Lots of games that they lost that they should have won. Lots of games that they won that they shouldn't have. It's been an exceptionally eclectic season for the Houston Texans. It's very frustrating. They also lost J.J. Watt early on, I believe to back surgery. I think it was something like that. And then, the other thing is, the other reason that they're in the playoffs right now is because Tennessee collapsed late in the season, and then they got trapped in the last 3 weeks with an extraordinarily tough last 3 games for their schedule. Now, having said that, the defense is their highlight. I mean, most of the games they held all those offenses to 21 points or less, but the problem is that the offense hasn't really been able to produce, no matter what defense they're going against. So, being the Oakland Raider defense is actually fairly good. I mean, I think this is going to be an overall good game. Mostly because the Oakland Raiders offense took such a huge shot with the quarterback position getting injured rather, at the end of the season. So we'll see what happens there. Tom Savage is actually out with a concussion now, so who knows if he'll actually come back in, which means Brock Osweiler could play this game, could start this game after being benched in the regular season. So who knows what's going to happen there. But having said that, though, I'm not calling this game yet. I'm going to call all games that we're going to talk about this week for the pick'ems in the Friday video. So tomorrow, Tuesday, you can expect the second game on Saturday, and then on Wednesday you'll have the first Sunday game. Thursday you'll have the second Sunday game, and then Friday I will put my official calls out for all 4 of those games on who I think is going to win. And in addition to that, I'll give you all my Super Bowl predictions as well. So anyways, while you're all here, please don't forget to subscribe to NoQuip Sports here on YouTube by clicking the red button down there, or you can click one of the annotations I'll put up here. And in addition to that, don't forget to check out NoQuip Sports on Facebook. You can like the page where you can get all different kinds of media every day. And also, we're now on Twitter, at NoQuip Sports on Twitter, where we'll be live tweeting games for ones that we don't do on live via Facebook. We can also go live on Twitter as well. So you get all the good content on Twitter as well as on the Facebook. And here, of course, our recorded videos, our more serious videos on YouTube. For all of you that have done those things already, thank you so incredibly much. It really means a lot. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful recovery, getting back from the holidays now that we're into this new 2017 year. Happy New Year's to everybody as well. And have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week. Go football.